Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and here at the noon hour, we're going to head outside, check in with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. As we begin the afternoon, a pretty nice, mild day so far, Thomas.
Yeah, it's sensational out here at the moment, Laura. And I'll tell you what, just looking at the temperatures, this is pretty close to what we had at this point yesterday. Funny enough, this is about 2 degrees warmer compared to 24 hours ago. We might end up another 2 degrees hotter by the end of the day. So I imagine I'll probably have to use the AC at least for a little bit right during the heat of the day between about 3 and 5 o'clock. And I wouldn't blame you if you have to do that either, because that is the direction we're heading. It should be about 85 or so during the peak of the day, with the sunshine having no clouds in its way to fight for. So that's why it's just basically exactly the same as yesterday, if not a little bit warmer yet. And I'll tell you what, 85 is 12 degrees above average for this time of year. So this is starting to feel pretty warm this deep into the season. Again, not a single cloud in the sky. In fact, pretty much have to wait until Sunday for really anything to change here weather-wise. But we are tracking quite the storm system as it will press into the Pacific Northwest region this weekend. So coming up, I'll show you when that is likely going to arrive and what the rain and wind will look like here locally. So I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you. Right now in Western Washington, rescue crews are working to try to find survivors from a military helicopter crash. The helicopter crashed near Summit Lake, just west of Olympia and Joint Base Lewis McChord. Overnight, a caller told 911 that they had heard a helicopter flying, then heard a large explosion in the area. Deputies found the crash site but had to pull back, and that's because of the fire that was caused by the crash. Right now, it is unclear how many people were on board. Joint Base Lewis McChord said it is aware of the reported crash, but would not provide any further information at this point. 3 officers are dead and 2 others injured after a shooting in Pennsylvania that happened in central Pennsylvania about 2.5 hours outside of Philadelphia. The officers were trying to arrest the shooter and serve a restraining order involving his ex-girlfriend. They say the shooter was wearing camouflage and that he was waiting in a cornfield when officers arrived. Officers returned fire and say the man died. The 2 injured officers are in critical but stable condition as of last report. ABC decided to stop airing Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. They canceled the show after Kimmel made comments about Charlie Kirk's alleged killer. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr says Kimmel intentionally, he said, spread misinformation about Tyler Robinson. In Kimmel's monologue on Monday, he called MAGA a gang and suggested that Robinson was one of them. Robinson's family told investigators that he was, quote, deeply indoctrinated with leftist ideology. The FCC and TV ownership group threatened to take action against ABC or preempt the show for what they call offensive and insensitive comments. President Trump called the move, quote, great news for America on social media. Kimmel's representatives have yet to comment, and ABC has not explained its decision. Some politicians and free speech organizations are now suggesting that after the Kimmel Show suspension, critics of President Trump are being systematically silenced. California Governor Gavin Newsom says censorship is happening in real time. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said, quote, any employee caught celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk will be held accountable. At least a dozen companies and universities have fired or suspended workers over their comments of Kirk.
We all benefit from a public dialogue that is civil. But the difference is we all have First Amendment rights as well. And when you have a government official coming in and saying that there are certain ideas that cannot be expressed, you start undermining the legal, not to mention the cultural values that undergird this country.
Attorney General Pam Bondi recently tried to prosecute a woman who refused to print a flyer of Kirk. She since walked back her threat to prosecute hate speech because she got pushback from some high-level profile conservatives. They said their side has fought for years to defend all forms of speech. Idaho's Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is debating the legality of Idaho voter ID laws. House Bill 124, which went into effect last year, made it so voters could not use student ID cards as their voter identification. A youth advocacy group called Babe Vote and the League of Women Voters sued. They say the law violates young people within Idaho and their rights. A district judge ruled the law is constitutional, a decision the Idaho Supreme Court upheld. Now judges are questioning the Attorney General about the evidence that is supporting these laws.
What evidence of fraud was there with respect to student IDs?
We haven't been able to detect, we haven't detected yet any evidence of it actually happening, but
So fraud was imagined as a possibility, but there was no evidence of fraud using student ID?
imagine makes it sound a little more speculative than it really is. We've shown what the IDs look like, student IDs versus government IDs. And
Well, take away the word imagined. There was no evidence of using false IDs for that purpose.
It has not happened yet, and it won't be able to happen in the future thanks to this law.
Attorneys for the group Babe Vote doubled down on their argument that the law discriminates against young people. The Ninth Circuit judges said they will consider both arguments. After 19 years, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is getting new sonar technology. Now, the system, the new one, is known as a towed side scan sonar unit, and it will help deputies handle water safety. Dive teams say this new piece of technology can scan deeper and provide overall better imagery than what they've had in the past. The full-time dive team became a reality for Kootenai County back in 2006, and the Sheriff's Office has been using the same equipment that they bought back then. This upgrade costs about $84,000. We do have a quick traffic update. WashDOT has closed the eastbound I-90 Garden Springs off-ramp for maintenance work. The ramp is closed at least until 2 o'clock this afternoon as crews finish up marking the pavement. Drivers can use the Geiger Boulevard Grove Road off-ramp as a detour for now.